Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than the normal stuff. Today we're going to do a video on what it's like to be a homeless active duty Marine and getting by. I've been doing this for the past 6 months or so, waiting to go back to the East Coast, and let's see how we make this work. Let's go. Alright guys, so here's my setup. To the right, I've got a folding mattress that I got off Amazon with a couple pillows. To the left, I got my 2 dressers with all the clothes I need. I got a privacy curtain set up back there, and it's pretty basic, but it works and gets the job done. Alright, so alarm clock just went off. I'm up. Even though I don't want to be. Alright, anyway, so let's get my clothes ready. And then we're going to go into the office and shower and get ready for the day. All right, so like you guys have seen, my clothes are here in this dresser setup, and I don't really think you need to see me picking out my underwear and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my stuff, get it ready, and then get out of this truck. So here's my work building right on the water, pretty nice. But anyway, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna get that shower and get this day kicked off. So, yep, bathroom and showers, sinks, all that good stuff. Already got the shower rolling, ready to go. Let's do this thing. And now the time has come to do all this other stuff because I'm showered. Yes, I use women's shaving cream because it's extra sensitive for my face because I have to shave every day for work. Yeah, having to shave every day is it's no bueno, man. Hurts your face. On the weekends, technically I don't have to, but if I go to any establishments on base, then as a senior staff detail, it looks kind of bad if I don't follow the rules. So, what do? I follow the rules like a good little boy. Obviously, I'm in regular clothes, so today is a Saturday. I'm gonna have 2 splits. One, like what does my weekend look like, and one, what is like my normal workday kind of morning look like, because they differ a little bit, so we'll talk about that. Oh man, I just lost half my toothpaste. All right, so today, the plan is to finish up here, getting ready, and then I am going to get some breakfast somewhere, and then go to the gym, take a quick body shower, and then go to work. So outside of the Marine Corps, I also do valet on the weekends for a hotel out in Oceanside, and it's technically 2 hotels side by side. They're sister hotels, but I only work for the one because I hate the other one. Just the vibe over there doesn't feel as good. So I asked the managers, I was like, can I just work at this one hotel? Because I don't like the I don't like the vibe of the other one. And since I'm older, a lot older than everybody else there, and I work hard, they're like, yeah, sure, dude, like wherever keeps you happy. So got lucky there. And so that's my valet job, and I do that to keep busy because my family's not out here. Extra money never hurts, right? We don't need it, but it's never a bad thing to have it. So plus it keeps me out of trouble. If I'm there working, then I'm not out doing other stuff. Not that I would want to be, just, you know, keeps you on track. Keeps you motivated, gives me some spending money for some extra stuff that I might want, gun parts, whatever. So it works out for everybody. It's a pretty good gig, actually. Depending on the night events going on, you can make a couple $100 on a weekend just in tips. Obviously servers make more than that, but for me, if I can walk away with a weekend with like 200 bucks cash, plus like obviously I'm making hourly wage. We only make the minimum, like California minimum wage, which is $16.50. Not the greatest, but it's not the worst out there. So plus I have a full-time, military job where I make pretty decent money now after being in for almost 18 years. So any kind of supplemental income is definitely welcome. So I'll walk you guys through that for like a few minutes. So yeah, once I get to the gym, pick back up. Well, maybe I'll pick back up at breakfast. Yeah, so I'll pick back up at breakfast, see a local spot, give them a shout out on my tiny little channel. And then when I get to the gym, and then when I get to my valet job, and that'll kind of wrap up this day. So I do want to point out that when I go places, Big Blue usually stays put, and my living room doesn't really move too often, and when I want to go places, I take the car. So let's go to breakfast. All right, I've been trying to come to this Don's Country Kitchen in Oceanside forever. Let's see if we can get in here.
So I was able to get into Don's, and I got this cool little table off by itself in like a little garden setting where I can kind of overlook the restaurant and people watch. Got me some coffee, gonna sip it, wait for my food, and then get the rest of this day popping, so stand by.
Okay, so breakfast was how you say much success. Very good. So now let that digest for a little bit. Probably watch a couple episodes of Reacher, and then hit the gym before I gotta go to work. Blech. All right, so every base has like actual like huge fitness facilities. However, in these housing areas, so this is like a housing area here, every housing area has a district office. And in those offices, there is a gym for the community. And even though I don't live in this community anymore, I still have my key card to be able to go to the gym here because it's a lot less crowded than the huge fitness facilities. You got to think like there's hundreds of thousands of people on this base. They get pretty crowded. So I like going to the neighborhood gyms. Not as good, but a lot more quiet, and I'm an introvert, so let's do it. All right, so we'll get to the gym in a second, but I gotta go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms are pretty nice because they also have a, well, one, it's a bathroom, and they also have showers. So, sinks, and a shower room, so cool. All right, so this is the gym. You got a bunch of like cable equipment, cardio stuff, stair stepper, ellipticals, bench, and then a little bit of free weights. Only goes up to 50 pounds. Spent a lot of my time here at this little cable machine because you can kind of do everything here: back, chest, shoulders, everything. And yeah, not a bad little deal. So this is where I come because, as you can see, there are times where it gets a little bit busy, but usually I'm the only one here, and I like being alone. So let's get after it today. See you guys later.
All right, now here we are at my valet job. I work for a hotel out in Oceanside right on the water, and this is a good change of pace from like my normal job where, I have a little bit more responsibility. This, it's just super relaxed, help people in and out of their vehicles, and get the day going. So overall, not a bad gig, a little bit of extra money. Don't really need the money, but it just keeps me busy on the weekends, keeps me out of trouble because, again, I stay in my vehicle. I don't have a house to just kind of relax and chill at. So the more active and busy I keep myself, the less likely I am to go crazy. So doing stuff like this just gives me a little bit of relief and gives me a purpose, I guess, because I don't have my family here. Now it is pretty good money, so minimum wage here in California is $16.50, so you make that plus your tips, and the tips are pooled between all the valets, so it's an even split at the end of the night. So just try to provide the best service you can, so that way those tips where you make your money, so you can go from $16.50 an hour to making almost $30 an hour depending on how good the tips are that evening. So not a bad gig. Did you scan that back in when you took it down?
No, that's what he said. I can't. This pen won't write.
So here we have, we take pictures of everybody's car because sometimes people will try to be petty and claim that we damaged their vehicle when we didn't. So we take pictures of every car before we accept it into the system. That way we can prove that we did not damage their car. It came in that way. All right, so now we're going to go through getting ready for a day in the Marine Corps and kind of some of the services that we have available to us.
All right, so there's really not much changes in getting ready in the morning, except obviously when I'm going to my main job, then I have to put on this uniform. And that's really the only difference in my day. And I go to the Chow Hall, and we'll kind of stop by there, which is pretty nice. So if you don't know what the Chow Hall is, it's like a cafeteria for the for everybody really, but the younger guys who live in the barracks, that's like their only place that they can eat because they don't get a allowance for food like the married guys do. I get an allowance for food, so I have to pay when I go to the Chow Hall. Theirs is deducted from their paycheck. So it's the cheapest place to eat if you don't have a house. Obviously, if I had my house, I'd stock up on groceries and et cetera, but I don't have one, so I have to either eat out or go to the Chow Hall, which is still technically kind of eating out, but way cheaper. So we'll stop by there, see what it's all about, and go from there. So I'm gonna fold my sleeves real quick, and that'll be it. Sheesh, 5-minute sleeves looking good, baby. I'm in a rush this morning, so I gotta hurry up and get over to the Chow Hall, get back to work. So let's go. All right, so the Chow Hall is about 1 minute from my work, so pretty convenient. And like I said, I don't have a house, so I can't meal prep or cook my own food in the morning because I have nowhere to do it. So we come to this lovely establishment here, which is known as the Chow Hall, which is basically a cafeteria. And I'm gonna chill out in my car for a few minutes because that line is atrocious and I'm not waiting in it. Morning, sir. Can I do spinach, pepper, onion, and jalapeno?
Scrambled with cheese.
Scrambled with cheese, yes, sir. Thank you.
So here's my breakfast here, all this for $4.40, and you can go back and get as much as you want. They got fruit, yogurt, all that stuff, and like I said, you can go back as many times as you want and eat as much as you want.
All right, so that's the Chow Hall. Super cheap, all you can eat. Not that bad, right? Don't gotta do dishes. That's a plus. So now where we're going is every morning I like to get a cup of coffee. And yes, they do have coffee there, but it's trash. It's absolutely trash. It's like burnt water. So I go to what we call the PX, MCX, whatever. And it's basically just a gas station on base that has everything we need. So that's where 99% of service members spend all their money. So we're gonna go check it out. It's pretty nice. It's decent. This one has a Dunkin' Donuts and a Subway attached to it, but I hate Dunkin' Donuts. I go into the actual PX itself to get their coffee because one, it's cheaper, and two, it doesn't taste like sugarized dog shit. So let's go. All right, so this is the MCX. We all still call them PXs. Nobody calls it the MCX. That's weird. But you got Dunkin' and you got Subway, and then there's the gas over there. So everything in here is tax-free, so we don't get charged tax. Gas is supposed to be cheaper than out in town. It's hit or miss. For the most part, it is, but there are some gas stations out there that do beat the prices here. But it's all conveniently right here where we need it, so most people just go ahead and get the gas here. So yeah, let's go get some coffee. All right,
right, so success, got my coffee. Black, of course, because if you put all that fancy stuff in your coffee, that's just what you want to do. I was going to say something mean, but I've done it before, and it does taste good. Maybe it does taste like chocolate milk. Maybe it does make you a little less masculine, but it's all right, because some days you just need that. But majority of the time, just black coffee, just to punch me square in my face, to say, wake up, you little D-bag, and get started with your day. So now I'm gonna go to work. That's pretty boring. So we're not gonna like really go into that. All right, so we've seen both normal work day in Marine Corps and then kind of a little bit of my valet job. Now we're gonna talk about how my stuff's set up when I go to the range, because I use that same vehicle to drive out to the desert and do all my shooting and things like that. So just a snippet of what that looks like. All right, and when I'm at the range, this is pretty much what it looks like. So got my big comforter here, like my jammies. Got my big comforter here, and then I keep a cold weather sleeping bag down there just in case it does get cold. Because believe it or not, even with this, I mean, most of you who camp know this, like this kind of stuff is great when you're in this kind of environment, but it still does get cold in here, and this doesn't really do jack when it's like below 40. So sleeping bag helps keep me warm. And got my ammo. Just because I'm out here in the desert, sometimes I get a little paranoid, so EDC is always on me, but I also take out one of my rifles, usually my primary, and then go ahead and have 2 mags readily accessible, because a lot of my stuff is like ammo's in the cases, stuff's locked up and stuff until I actually start shooting. So I like to have my EDC and a primary rifle available just in case, I don't know, anything happens. I got something to grab real quick. This is just kind of like all my range gear, my bags, some extra targets, RDO baby, some water, stuff like that. That's kind of the stuff I keep in here. My blackout curtains and my my cardboard window cutouts keep me nice and keeps it nice and dark in here, easy to sleep, gives me some privacy. So like 7 out of 10 times that I come out here, don't run into a soul, but there are a few instances where people do, you know, I run into people, whatever. It's usually during the day when I'm shooting, but one night at like 1:30 in the morning, over to the top of my little curtain rod here, I could see some lights coming, and I was like, it just woke me up out of my dead sleep, and I saw like the top of my headliner was kind of like illuminated. I was like, what the hell is that? And somebody was coming. I looked at my watch. It was 1:30 in the morning. I was like, what the fuck? So I just kind of like creeped over top of my little curtain rod. I was just like peeking over like Wilson over the fence for those home improvement fans out there. Just kind of watched them. There is like other areas you could park around here. So they parked across the little old, you know, dead highway to that little range area. I was like, all right, cool. You know, they're going to do the same thing I'm doing. They just got here a lot later. So like I just kind of watched for a minute because they had their lights and stuff on, like being kind of like a little noisy because it's the middle of the desert. So every little noise you can hear exactly, like, you know, everything. So I'm just like watching them for a few minutes. I'm like, okay. Then I see the dude like walking over towards my truck. I was like, here we fucking go. So like heart starts pounding a little bit. Grab my fucking pistol. I'm like, if this dude starts trying to fuck with my vehicle or my stuff, we're going to have an issue. Because I'm going to ask questions later, if you know what I mean. But he just kind of like circled. He like shined his light over because I had like my targets and stuff already set up, because obviously I don't have any of that stuff in the truck with me right now because it takes up the whole back. So I set all my targets and stuff up outside and just lay them down. That way the wind doesn't knock them over and stuff. So he like shines his light over that. Then he shines his light at my truck, and then, you know, cool, like whatever, you're just trying to see what's going on. But then he like focuses on the truck, and then he just brings the light up and shines it into the windshield for like a good like 10 seconds. And he's like doing this little rubber gooseneck shit, like trying to like see if he could see in. And I'm like, the fuck's this dude doing? So I'm glad I had the little privacy curtain. I mean, I guess he was like looking for a tent or something, and maybe he thought the truck was abandoned, but it's like, dude, I got all my shit set up here. Like, there's clearly something blocking your vision into the rest of the truck. Odds are I'm fucking sleeping in it. So like, why are you shining your light at my shit? So I just opened my door and shine my bright ass like 1300 lumen light right back at him. And then 30 seconds later, he's packing up his truck and they dip out. And then I shot the rest of the next day. No worries, no issues. And as I was leaving, it's like, you know, a couple miles back to the main road. They were like parked near the entrance of like where you just first turn off the road. And they like, I guess, camped and did whatever they were doing out that way. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? And it's such a random thing, but nothing happened. Anyway, that was a really long ramble to just say that nothing happened. But you never know. Maybe it could have been a weirdo. So I just like to have my stuff ready and accessible. But this is my little setup. Got my two little pillows down here. I don't know if you can see that. Two little pillows down here. Got all my shit. And yeah, get some sleep now. Get up early. Get up around 5. I like to get here the night prior, just set up and stuff. Every once in a while I'll shoot at night, but usually it's just to get here to set up for the morning. I like to get up, make my coffee, watch the sunrise, get my target stage where I want them for the day, and just take my time. I don't like to rush in the morning. I like to just wake up, drink my coffee from my jet boil, and just have everything set up nice and easy. Don't have to rush, don't have to because I used to leave my house really early in the mornings, like 4, you know, stop at the gas station, get ice, get this, get that, stop here, do that. And it's just like, by the time you get here and get set up, you're like rushing because it's like, it took a few hours to do all that stuff. So setting it up the day before just makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, that's a day in the life of living in my truck. And then going to the range in the same truck that I live in. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, guys, so that was the video. You know, not ideal, but definitely doable. And this is in no way a video to kind of, you know, glorify not having a home or a place to stay, or making light of a situation where other people, this is their life, this is how they live, and they don't have nearly as many of the accommodations that I have at my disposal. So just be a little bit understanding of people that are in that situation, living out of their vehicles, living on the streets. You know, sometimes it's you know, it's an outcome of their own decisions. Sometimes it's just a series of unfortunate events that people ended up in. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.